Coming up, cassowaries hold up the traffic.
How impressive is that?
Needles make crocs squirm too.
Got him.
And a bird goes on a tidying streak.
You ready?
Oh, yeah. So we fired up today.
There he is, mate. He's looking at you.
I'm entering the danger zone with reptile park keeper, Kyle.
You think?
He's going to come straight up. Come on, El.
We need to examine our 500 kilogram saltwater crocodile, Elvis. Kyle reckons something's up with his foot.
So I was out here this morning, Tim, and he just wasn't acting like himself. He just seems really sooky. He was sitting on the bottom of the pool, just not being Elvis, where he's explosive.
Chasing you out of the yard.
Yeah, pretty much.
A few weeks back, Elvis lost a toenail.
Now, it mightn't sound bad, but with a croc, that nail goes right back into the bone.
Now, my aim now is to get him out, have a look at that toe, and just see if that's what the problem is. Come on, El.
But luring this 5-metre killing machine out of the water is a dangerous mission.
Oh.
Elvis is a scary character. He was captured in Darwin Harbour attacking fishing boats. That's when you know you got a true bull croc. From there, he was taken to a croc farm where he ate his girlfriends. Wasn't any good there. That's how he found his way here with us at the reptile park.
If he wasn't known enough before, this big boy certainly enhanced his reputation worldwide recently when he killed a lawnmower.
Yep, you heard me right. A keeper got too close while mowing his yard, and that was that. Not the tastiest of morsels, but he sure showed us who's boss. If you go within Elvis's strike zone, he is going to grab you. You never, ever, ever take your eye off him. I think what needs to happen is a bit of food. Let's bring him up and see what his attitude's like.
Even though Elvis is the most lethal predator at the Australian Reptile Park,
Come on, mate.
quite literally, overnight, this 5-metre salty has turned into, well, a bit of a sook.
Come on, mate. That's a boy. Come on. Come on, pal. Jump up, please. Okay, now, he's not putting a lot of weight on that back foot, mate.
I can see that.
You can see it's sore. I mean, there's no nail on there, so the nail's gone. So when a nail comes off, that's going to be tender. What we're left with is raw tissue and nerve. And on a crocodile, that's the perfect place for an infection to start. That's a big problem. I'm worried, and it's justified. This has happened once before, and his toe swelled up, looked like a sausage roll. I can't let that happen again. There's only one thing for it.
Australia surely has one of the most unique collections of animals to be found anywhere in the world. I'm on my way to find a particular species of flightless bird that's become synonymous with this area.
This is tropical North Queensland, and this particular section is called the Cassowary Coast. It's where the rainforest meets the ocean, and as the name suggests, it's home to cassowaries.
3 species of cassowary exist, but only the southern or double-wattled cassowary is found in Australia. The first birds appeared on Earth 150 million years ago in the late Jurassic, and cassowary fossils that date back 5.2 million years have been found. They are living descendants of the dinosaurs. They've been having a hard time of it of late. The usual reasons: loss of habitat, introduced species, but one of the saddest impacts on numbers is us feeding them. Once cassowaries start associating people with food, they start wandering through neighbourhoods, and their chance of being killed by cars or even dogs goes through the roof. Various groups up and down the North Queensland coast are trying to help the cassowaries' cause.
G'day.
G'day, nice to see you again.
I'm at the Cassowary Rehabilitation Centre to meet an organisation dedicated to protecting rainforests. Jennifer is one of the directors.
So tell me, what exactly is Rainforest Rescue?
Rainforest Rescue is an organisation that aims to protect rainforests all around the world forever.
Yep.
So it's really making sure that intergenerational people can enjoy it for the rest of eternity.
Working alongside Jennifer is Graham, who's a local vet.
Righto, so this is the young fella in here.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. He's fairly standoffish. He won't come near you because he's certainly we're trying to keep him as wild as we can.
Okay, and how old's he?
So he's just over a year old. He came in as a young orphan chick, about a month old. He's almost to the point where he can be released, where he can fend for himself.
The first thing I notice in here is that it just looks like a piece of the natural habitat fenced in. It's big open space.
Sure.
Is that the intention?
That's what we try and do. I mean, this is not a public display facility at all. We really try and make it so they've got lots of places to hide, lots of places to get out of the sun or out of the rain.
The idea is to retain as many wild behaviours as they possibly can.
This rescue centre is critical. There are 1,000, maybe less, cassowaries left in the wild. So every single cassowary is important. And the rescue centre means that a chick like this can be saved. All right, well, let's leave him. That was great. See you, matey.
All right, Tim, well, this is probably a great opportunity to go and meet a friend of mine as well.
Oh, good. OK. Thank you, mate.
Thank you. No worries.
Good on you for the work you do here.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank
See you later.
See you, Graham.
See ya.
Cassowaries are one of those rare species where the father raises the young. Once the female has laid her eggs, she'll go off and find another partner to mate with, leaving the male to incubate the eggs and raise and protect his brood. The trouble is, even he is no match for modern-day intrusions, especially the motor car. Survival of this magnificent bird is dependent on people being made aware of their plight and adjusting their habits accordingly. Meet the western bowerbird, found in central and northwestern Australia. They're from a family of birds that has intrigued man for generations. As with so many species in the bird world, it's the male that provides the colour and display to kickstart a relationship. But unlike other birds, it's not his plumage that attracts females. Instead, the western bower uses a unique form of artistry to attract a mate. They are the ultimate builders, able to construct intricate masterpieces to ensure they are the dominant male in the area. What he lacks in feathered decoration, he more than makes up for with his spectacular bower.
He's just flown off. That gives me a couple of minutes to give you a really close look at this. And that is just impressive. Have a look at what he's got. Everything's the colour of old bones, which that is. But he's got glass, lids, someone's jewellery, decorating that bower. But you've got to love him because inside here are his most favoured jewels. And he's got what looks like a little pre-developed orange, a seed, and best of all, a rock from someone's garden. That's artificial, coloured. They're his finest jewels right in the middle. Every single piece here is selected because it's perfect for this bower. A stick on the outside here was thrown there because it's not suitable for the bower. It may have deteriorated, snapped. He's obviously brought it here, but the pieces up in that bower are perfect.
And its sole aim? To impress females, of course.
And they're pretty picky, these girls. They're going to come here and assess his jewels to find work within his bower, and then they'll decide if he's worthy of mating with them, worthy of siring their offspring.
This guy has held the title of dominant male around these parts for 4 years. Before then, he would have been one amongst a group of teenage bowers, hanging around and learning from the former holder of the title. Things like how to build the bower, what sort of jewels to collect, that sort of thing. This fella was the smartest though. He took all he learnt, knowing it would come in useful sometime down the line. When the older bird's time was up, he was waiting in the wings and the ladies transferred their allegiances. Since then, his days have been spent constantly attending to the upkeep of his bower. He's got to be careful though. 4 years is a long time at the top, and there's a bunch of teenagers in the area, one of which is no doubt biding his time, waiting for his chance.
I'm going to be a little bit naughty, and I'm going to move 1 or 2 of these, not far.
But this will certainly get his attention.
Yep. He's back. I thought he might have collected something, but he didn't bring anything back, so he's probably just had a feed.
As I thought, moving a few pieces has sent him into a frantic tidying streak.
And he's fixing the bower, the pieces that I moved. That's amazing.
His little mind has gone into overdrive. He has to fix the bower.
Because what if a female comes along? He's got to be ready at all times. It's amazing that he's so tolerant of me. I'm no threat to him, so he's not necessarily worried. But he's just driven to work on that bower, and that overrides my presence.
Now, to me, he looks fantastic. But in the scheme of things, he isn't the most striking of birds. There's a bit of a general rule with male bowerbirds. The less impressive his plumage, the more work goes into the bower. So long as this fella has the most impressive bower in the neighbourhood, he should attract a steady stream of females that will mate with him, then depart to raise her young. Males don't have any part to play in rearing chicks. They simply continue with their interior decoration.
He's put all those ornaments right back where they were. I've seen bowerbirds, but never like that. That was amazing.
The question is, will it be enough to reel in the ladies?
I'm interested to see what Elvis is going to be like. He goes for lawnmowers, whippersnippers. I don't think he's going to be happy when he feels this.
Our cranky croc Elvis needs a broad spectrum antibiotic for his toe, which is at risk of serious infection.
So the plan is now that I'm going to lure him around into the right spot. He's actually going to think that he's going to get fed. I need to bring him in side on so I can hit him right in the side of the neck. I don't want to miss. The needle is massive and it needs to be to penetrate through that thick skin. When the time's right, bang. Everyone right, Kyle? Yep. Okay, get ready, mate. 1, 2. Got him. Got him. Whew. Okay, that was good. Right in. Bent the syringe head a bit. That's perfect. Now he's down. Got the whole lot in.
The antibiotic should ensure that Elvis's toe heals without any complications.
So that's one problem fixed, but we've got another. How did he do it? There's a rubber seal within the pool. Now that's a logical spot that he's caught his toe, the body's kept going, it's caught, and the nails come off.
Now he's fired up from that big injection. I've got to jump into the pool and fix the seal. Now, if that sounds a bit mad, you're probably right, but the job just has to be done.
Kyle's going to look after the croc. Lizzie's going to hold a bit of rope around my waist, and the signal is if the croc comes, tug the rope. I'm out of that water quicker than you can blink, believe me. And you're going to talk to Lizzie?
Yep.
Anything at all, you just tell Lizzie, he's coming, Lizzie. Even if he looks my way.
Let Liz know.
Even if he's not looking my way, but he moves a little bit.
Let Liz know.
Still tell Lizzie.
Yeah, no problem, Tim. Come on, Elvis.
Before I go in, Kyle's got to make sure Elvis is suitably occupied at the other end of the pool.
We good over there, Kyle? All good, Tim. So, Lizzie, if he comes, give me a yank.
I've only got seconds in the water. Elvis can be quick if he wants to, and I'll have no chance if my team isn't fully on alert. Thankfully, I have the best team around.
Crocs are prehistoric killing machines. They've got a mouthful of teeth. They can grab onto something as big as a buffalo, and they've got jaw pressure enough to crush its skull.
So long as my dive buddies are keeping a constant watch, I'll be fine. He knows I'm in the pool. Time to speed things up.
There's always that chance that he could grab you, so you've got to be careful. Always keep your eyes on the croc.
Just that one last bit.
If anyone says they're not scared of him, they're in the wrong place.
That's it. That's good.
Job's done. Elvis has his medicine, the pool's fixed, and I tell you, there's nothing like sharing the water with a 5-metre saltwater crocodile that just wants to eat you.
I'm in Queensland on the Cassowary coast to meet a champion of one of Australia's flightless birds.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to Mission.
Liz Galley has been campaigning on behalf of cassowaries for decades. First thing I want to know is how cassowaries are faring at Mission Beach.
Well, as we know, everyone loves Mission Beach, cassowaries and people. So we've got development happening at Mission Beach, and of course roads going through the cassowary habitat and fences.
And Jen, that's where you come in from a broader sense, that we've got Liz and people like Liz with local knowledge and passion, and your role is as a big picture educator.
Well, that's definitely the intention. I think what we're trying to do is ensure that the whole of Australia is going to fall in love with this iconic species and bring to life that the cassowaries are a keystone species to the Australian forest, and without them, there will be no rainforest.
Yeah. And cassowaries have got the pressure of people, dogs, cars, roads, some clearing of habitat, but you get big cyclones here and there are natural pressures. And what's it like after a cyclone?
You can imagine there's a lot of trees come down in a cyclone, so getting around the countryside is not that easy. It's quite interesting watching them come back and just check out their neighbourhood. They stand and they look and they come across obstacles, but it doesn't take them long before they find those tunnels and they can get moving around.
Will you show me?
Sure. Yeah, let's go.
OK, good.
Walking through Liz's property, she points to a whole host of plant species reliant on the cassowary. Native olives, nutmeg, ginger, and various fruits and berries.
There's a cassowary dropping, and it's full of seeds and nuts. There's about 150 species of rainforest plant that are germinated by the cassowary. 70 of those species rely on the cassowary. Their only way of germinating is to be eaten by a cassowary, go through the digestive system, and come out like this in a little package of fertiliser. This cluster of saplings would have been a cassowary dropping. Now it's laid there on top of the leaf litter, and these saplings are all in this dappled light, just trying to get up, to get big enough to get a spot in the canopy.
So plenty of evidence around the property of cassowaries, but what I really want to see is their tracks through the forest.
You probably won't be able to see, but you can see that this is obviously a pathway that's going into the bush here. I checked it out yesterday. I thought you might like to go for a walk.
Sure. OK, let's go and have a quick look. Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, and down to the water. That's beautiful. It's tight compared to, well, us clumsily lumping through here. You can see the cassowary's head down, and it's a tight little passage.
Yeah.
Just imagine, though, if it wasn't for the cassowary's digestive system, which is full of enzymes that help protect them from harmful toxins, this forest would be completely different.
We've just followed a cassowary track down the hill sideways. It doesn't go straight down, it wiggles side to side. And we've come down here to a creek, and they're never far from water. They're a big bird, it's hot, they need to drink. And when they do, they drop the head down to a pool like this, put that bottom bill in, and scoop up a big mouthful of water. That's beautiful.
Out on the road again. I'm a little disappointed not to have seen a cassowary on Liz's property, but that's wildlife. You can't set your watch by them. Just up the road is Eddy Bay, where I'm told cassowaries come out as regular as clockwork. This beautiful bird is Eddy. She's quite a character and always keeps the tourists entertained. Just as I think it couldn't get any better, leaving the beach behind, I've come across these fellas.
There's a male cassowary. How impressive is that? There's a common misconception that an encounter with a cassowary could be dangerous or somehow life-threatening. In fact, they're very peaceful and just go about their own business.
Well, I've achieved my aim to see wild cassowaries in their own environment. Now it's up to us to make sure generations to come have the same opportunity. I've been hanging about with this western bowerbird for a few hours now. I've got to say, his efforts to attract a female has blown me away. But bowerbirds tend to hang about in clusters, so I've been looking about for other bowers.
This is a second bower, and I found it about 100 metres from that beautiful big bower. Now, I know that first bower is the dominant male of this area, and this bower is just on the outskirts of that territory. But any female that comes along will not choose the male, there he is right there, will not choose the male that owns this bower.
In fact, there are a number of younger birds that will lay claim to it.
And teenage bowerbirds, they have to learn the dance. They have to learn the art of displaying a wonderful bower. And they learn that from a dominant male.
So this is a training ground. Somewhere the teenagers can practice what they've learned from our other fella. But that dominant male, he's a wily old boy. For as long as he can, he'll defend his position. And that means every time these fellas start building what he perceives to be a threat, he'll come in and destroy the joint. Eventually, as sure as night follows day, one of these fellas will seize the opportunity, muscle in and take over the mantle of top bird. I've been waiting around for a female to appear for ages now, and I'm starting to wonder if our fella here is losing his mojo. Hang on, I think I found the answer.
Quick, 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 perennie. Base of that tree, there's a perennie. I could hear the miners going off. They're the alarm bells. They've told me there's danger around. Look at that, a perennie, about 1.5 meters long. Biggest lizard in Australia. There he is, look at that. It's actually the second largest lizard in the world. And I found him because I walked away from that bowerbird's bower, give it a bit of space. And as I was leaving, I could hear some miners. And miners are a bird, very aggressive bird, and they will attack anything that's a threat to their chicks. And that's what they think this is. They were here swooping him, making a lot of noise. He's getting a bit cranky there now. You watch his tongue. All monitors have forked tongues, like a snake, and that helps them find food. They flick it out and it enables them to tell which way the food is. But at the minute, he's just smelling if I'm okay. Hey, buddy.
You know, depending on its size, a perennie will eat anything from insects, rats, and bigger ones have even been known to hunt small mammals and Australia's largest venomous snake, the king brown. Wherever he goes, you know there'll be trouble. With that perennie and me lurking about, it's no wonder our bowerbird was lonely all morning. Time to leave him be and let him get on with his business. What a morning, though. A bowerbird and a perennie.